Hi, I'm Norman Liss. The name of the program is The Way to Go. I invite you to join me each week at this time as we explore places to go and things to do. Well, a funny thing happened to me. I saw a Funny Girl at the Westchester Broadway Theater, and the star of the show, playing the Fanny Brice role, is Rachel Cohen, and she's my guest today. Very interesting part, very interesting play. Rachel, I'm delighted that you came here today and that we could talk and I could get inside the character of really of Fanny Brice and also Rachel Cohen.
Well, thank you.
It seems to me that there's a lot of challenges for an actress in that role. What's the most difficult part in doing this?
Well, I think the most difficult part, first of all, is that it is a vocal demanding show, vocally demanding. There are many, many songs in there, and not only do you have to have the energy up for that, but the role of Fanny Brice, she's constantly on stage all the time, and so it's physically challenging as well. You have to have lots of energy and be able to perform top notch every night.
And people don't realize, with all the changes in costume, that must be a hectic, frantic time backstage, since you got to go right out there. And
it is.
And the wigs are different.
I have quick changes, and I have to change my wigs. I have 3 different wigs in the show, and it's interesting because the audience doesn't realize really what's going on backstage because they're obviously focused on another scene that's happening in the show, but they all are quick changes, and it's pretty crazy backstage at times.
I assume you have help.
Yes, I have a dresser that helps me. She's wonderful.
Couldn't do it without that.
Yeah.
How do you get up for a role like this? You got to learn a lot of songs. I mean, the songs in here, I jotted down some of them. People, of course. I'm the greatest star, you a woman, I am man, don't rain on my parade, right. Sadie, Sadie, married lady. And, I mean, how do you get up for something like that? You got a rehearsal period, and then go out there and do the show, right?
Yeah, actually, our rehearsal period is not as long as people probably think. It's amazing. We put up such an amazing show within a short period of time. But it's a lot of work. Obviously, I received the role and then went right into rehearsals, and I think the rehearsal period was something like 10 days, and then all of a sudden the show is up, and we just do a lot of work. We have long days, and we work hard, and we really have to focus.
And not only do you have to learn the parts and learn the songs and work with the others, but there's so many technical aspects of it.
Yes.
I've often commented about the fact that when I had the opportunity to stand with the stage manager on one show and see what goes in, how precisely everything is done, and everything has to happen on time.
It's amazing, yeah, because if something if something goes wrong, then there could be an accident on stage, and we don't want to have that. So
what I like a lot about this show is the fact that it makes such great use of what the theater offers in terms of the revolving stage and some of the hydraulics, and things keep rising and going down. Not too much because it's not overdone, but it works so well in this particular show. I know some of the shows at Westchester Broadway Theater, they don't do any of it. They don't use any of it.
Right.
And some of them, like in Phantom, for example, where you rose up and could see what was down underneath. Incredible.
It really is amazing.
How they make use of it.
Right. And the audience doesn't expect it. They don't know when it's going to happen, and that's what makes it so exciting.
When you walk in the theater for this particular show, normally when you walk into the theater, I'm just giving you my impression, when you walk into the theater, you get a feeling of the set, you get a feeling of where it is. But here, although this is a thrust stage with people sitting around 3 sides, there's a curtain.
Yeah.
There's this huge curtain, and it almost like a proscenium, because it is a theater show, isn't it? And then it rises, and then it rises in different parts and does all sorts of things.
Right.
It's a wonderful aspect of that.
It's great. Make use of all of it, and it's like I said, it's unexpected, and you really don't know what's behind what.
So let's tell the story a little bit. Of course, it's based on the true story of Fanny Brice. Let's tell the story a little bit.
Well, Fanny Brice was she was a comedian. In vaudeville, what happened was she had her first vaudeville job in 1910. Florence Ziegfeld discovered her and gave her a leading role in the Ziegfeld Follies, and it made her a star, and she became a Ziegfeld Follies star for the next 24 years.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be a star for that many years.
Yeah.
And of course, it's funny. And there are a lot of funny things in it, but there's also a serious aspect, and particularly the love story between her and Nick Arnstein. And we do have a photo of one of the scenes with you and Nick Arnstein. Well, who was he?
Well, she falls in love with, this is who she falls in love with. Nick Arnstein is a man who comes to see Fanny Brice in one of her shows. And he becomes, not only later on does he fall in love with her, but he feels that he really sees star quality in Fanny Brice. And there's something about her that he really sees that she can become a star. She really could. And so he introduces himself to her and really actually tries to promote her himself. They come from two different worlds. Fanny Brice, she really wasn't that educated, even though she was so determined. And she
comes to the Lower East Side.
Yes, the Lower East Side of New York. And Nicky Arnstein was this man who was very, very well educated. He was even a gambler, a sportsman, and they come from two totally different worlds, and yet they fall in love. Well, I don't want to give the whole show away, but it's not always perfect in their relationship throughout life.
But it comes through, I think, very, very well in that. I think your part. I have made the comment with your big voice, and you certainly have a great big voice.
Thank you.
I wonder whether they could do that show without you being mic'd and amplified, as they do, of course, today in the theater all the time. I bet you could be heard at the last row without any.
Thank you.
Is that something you've always had as a youngster? A big voice?
Yes, I would say so. I started singing at a very young age, and it was something that I found I loved doing it. I mean, I sang everywhere that I could. And so I finally asked my parents when I was about 12, I wanted to study professionally. I wanted to take voice lessons so that, I didn't ruin my voice in any way and kind of polish it. And so I went ahead and I did. And I took voice lessons up until I went to college for it. And I was in all my school plays in high school and junior high.
And the path to a professional theater career, yes?
Yeah.
And wondering along the way, is this what I want to do? Or
actually, I always knew. Yeah, that was the one thing I always knew. I always knew this is what I wanted to do. In fact, I don't know if there's anything else that I would have enjoyed doing as much as what I do now.
What does it give you?
It gives me such satisfaction to bring an audience into the theater and have them completely shut out the real life that they are involved in right now and come and see a show and come enjoy it and laugh and cry and just really be engulfed in a whole other world.
People don't realize the work that's involved in making that happen, but for you, the reward is the reaction of the audience.
Yeah, really. That's why I do it.
But you've done other shows. From the list, I see that you were in Sound of Music.
That's right.
And Evita and Cats with makeup.
Yes, with the makeup. Actually, Cats I did in Vienna, Austria.
Did you?
Yeah, and the whole production was done completely in German.
Oh.
So that was a big challenge.
Is that difficult, doing a show in another language?
It was. I studied German phonetically with a German diction coach for 6 weeks prior to me going on.
Was the cast all American?
There was only 6 Americans in the whole cast. The rest of the cast were from all over the world. It was very interesting.
That's an amazing show. The fact that it's run so long, there's something about it. It gets criticized a lot by the people who are in society.
Right.
But the audiences love it.
People love it. And it's very popular, especially in New York City with the tourists that don't have a chance to come see it all the time. So, yeah.
Someone once said to me that in Broadway, it's okay to get the reviews in New York, but the reviews that really count are the ones that appear in papers that are read nationally, because after the New York audiences have seen it, it's the tourists who keep the shows alive.
Exactly.
And I think that's a very interesting point.
It's very important.
Of all these great numbers in there, are there any of them that kind of give you a special kind of feeling? Are you going to say People?
Well, I'm going to say People first, of course. That gives me great joy to sing that. I mean, after all, People was such a hit. it gives me, it's an honor to be able to sing a song like that and to sing it and have people enjoy it the way as if, they just heard it yesterday. It's not a song you really hear on the radio anymore like you did when it was a hit.
No.
So it gives me...
But of course it does remind people of Barbra Streisand. She of course made her starring debut in this on Broadway and then followed it in the movies in which, again, she won an Oscar for her role in that.
That's right.
And a lot of the show is identified with her.
It is.
I have to say that after the first few minutes, I forgot about Barbra Streisand and thought about Rachel Cohen.
That's great. Thank you.
Because you made the role your own. And I thought that was very, very interesting.
That's important to me. I mean, Barbra Streisand, she's wonderful, and I love her. But that's what's so tough about the role, because people do come in expecting to see a Barbra Streisand-like performer, perhaps the way she looks or talks or sings. Even though people do compare me to her, which I take as a compliment, of course, but I do like to make the role my own, because after all, the show is about Fanny Brice and not really about Barbra Streisand.
I think that's a challenge for the producers in putting this together, to find a performer like yourself who understand that there's a Barbra Streisand image, and to find a performer who can take the show and make it her own. And I think casting you, of course, is an important step, and then for you to understand and making that happen is also very important.
Right.
It must be very desirable and rewarding to you to hear that applause.
Yeah.
I mean, the thunderous applause.
Oh, thank you. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Every night I enjoy it.
There's some pretty funny numbers in there. There's a lot of tap dancing in the show too. Yeah, which you don't see too much in shows. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, the whole cast is wonderful. I mean, tremendously talented.
You always hear about singers who dance and dancers who sing and singer-dancers.
Right.
You got to be singer-dancers in this show because there's so much that's done in there.
That's correct.
The cast is great.
Oh, they're wonderful. They're wonderful. And everyone, not only do we have a great chemistry on stage, but everyone has a great chemistry off stage. We really come together well and make the production work, and that's important. It's a great cast of people.
Do you learn from each other as you go on?
Sure, you always do. I try to take everything as a learning experience, whether good or bad. You take it as a learning experience. And like I said, the whole cast, I think we're learning from each other constantly.
There's something in it which is unusual and which I understand was not in the Broadway play, but we'll get to that in a minute. But first, I do want to remind our viewers that we're talking about Funny Girl at the Westchester Broadway Theater. It's there through September 26th. And my guest today is the lead, the star, Fanny Brice herself, but her name is Rachel Cohen. And there's one particular part in that, which I understand was not in the show, and that's roller skates.
Yes, yes, the roller skate rag.
How did that happen?
Well, the roller skate rag was put into the film of Funny Girl. It was not initially written for the Broadway show. And we took it from the film, and it seems to be getting a great response. It's a lot of fun. What happens is it's a show where the girls are roller skating, and Fanny says, "Oh, I can roller skate. I'm going to try to make myself a star by going out there and doing it with the other girls." Of course, what happens is Fanny comes out, and she absolutely does not. Well, she actually knows how to roller skate, but she comes out acting as if she doesn't, and messes all the girls up. It's a very comedic
Well, that wasn't
part.
too hard for you to do because you know how to roller skate.
I know how to roller skate. Yeah, and actually, if she's supposed to not know how to roller skate, so if I took a fall here or there by accident, it was okay. But it's a lot of fun.
I suppose in the casting call, you have to sing, dance, and roller skate.
Actually, they didn't ask me if I knew how to roller skate. I think they might have just assumed, but but that's okay.
Doesn't everyone?
You can learn. You can always learn to do something. So
there's a lot of fun things that are happening there.
Oh,
I also think there's some spectacular things in there now. In this theater, with this stage, as I say, a thrust stage, people are sitting all around it. After all, this is Florence Ziegfeld. These are the Ziegfeld Follies, and they had these spectaculars with beautiful showgirls on staircases that are lit up, and they do that.
Yeah,
it's
wonderful.
And it just doesn't seem as if this theater is big enough to do it, and yet.
Just when you think it isn't, the curtain goes up, and there it is, a Ziegfeld stage.
How much rehearsal is required in order to get that timing right? You kind of emerge in that in one scene.
Well, like I said, we rehearsed, for only a few days. We worked very hard at doing that. those numbers are difficult because they have to be staged. When we're rehearsing, we did not rehearse with the stairs. We didn't get a chance to rehearse on those stairs until we actually moved into the theater itself. We worked in a rehearsal studio for several days.
You faked
it. Right. But then when the set comes in and the stairs, things change a little bit because you have to really get adjusted to the stairs.
Now, this particular scene, this bridal scene showing the stairs, which we have an illustration of, you're not in this, but you do come into this. And, of course, I'm not going to give away the secret.
We can't give it away, but yes.
One of the surprises, and it's enough to say, and because I was surprised, that Florence Ziegfeld, who really wanted things done his way, had a little difficulty with Fanny Brice because she decided to add a little bit to it.
You can say that. Yes.
And that's the funny thing. Did the number exactly as it was supposed to then, but added a little element that made it very funny.
I wanted to make it different. She felt that she couldn't compare herself to the beautiful showgirls that she was on stage with, so she made fun with everyone else and of herself. And that's all I'm going to say because I'm not going to give it away.
I'm not going to give it away either. The humor in it, do you wait for the laughs? I mean, is the timing in there to wait for
the time you learn when you think the laughs are going to come. You learn about pretty much time. You know how much time to leave for the laughs. If for some reason you get less of a laugh one night or more of a laugh,
it is different.
You just take the timing. You just try to time it yourself and go on.
But everything, as we said before, is done precisely. I mean, there's a place to be to be where the lighting is and to be on the spot and not to confuse the other performers by doing something different.
Right.
Although I have seen some ad-lib things which I thought were very funny, not in this show, but when something goes wrong, someone drops something. I mean,
if you're comfortable enough, you can always ad-lib or do something that'll fit in.
Well, that's how do you get comfortable? You say if you're comfortable enough.
Well, it takes a while, with any production after you perform it a couple of weeks or days even. If you become real comfortable with your character and who you are and everything else that's going on stage, then you know exactly what's happening at what moment. Right. And you can pretty much, do anything if you had to.
Another thing that I find interesting, and I'll give away a little secret here. May I? Maybe you don't even know what I'm going to give away.
It depends, yeah.
At the end, when you take your curtain calls, that you pay tribute to the orchestra.
Yes.
By acknowledging the pit.
Yes.
But there is no pit.
No.
And of course, I learned the secret is that they're not below, but they're also not above as they've been in some other places.
We do have an orchestra, wonderful orchestra at that, yes. But they are backstage and upstairs.
and that's the amazing of electronics, where they can see what's going on.
Yeah, we have monitors.
Monitors, they can see what's going on. I've been in the theater, I've been in the Broadway theater, where you can't see the conductor of the orchestra, but they have monitors along the edge of the balcony so that they can see the conductor.
That's correct.
And so everybody, especially in choral work, where you have to be together on it.
Right.
That's amazing what can be done today.
Yeah.
People don't appreciate the lighting that goes on and how that's all done computerized and everything is important. It's so precise.
Right. It's amazing. Such hard work goes into it. And it looks so smooth, but there's so much work that goes into it.
And you love the work and you love the result of the work.
Love it.
Love it. It's great that not only are you doing this through the end of September, but up until September 2nd, there's something really special that's going on for families. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Well, Wednesday nights throughout the summer up until, you said September 2nd, what we're doing is Wednesday nights, it's going to be a show only for families. The adults pay $30, and for children 16 and under is $15. And what it is really to get more families to be able to come to the show if perhaps they can't afford it on a regular, it can get expensive with a whole family. Yeah, so we're trying to bring more families into the theater, and there's food and drinks a la carte that you can obviously purchase if you'd like, but it's a wonderful way to have more families come in and enjoy the theater at a reasonable price.
It's interesting that you go to the theater and often you see young people,
Yeah.
They don't take them to many shows because some of the shows are not for children. This,
Correct.
of course, the show is great for children.
Right.
And there's nothing in it that you would hesitate to take a child to.
Right.
And that the theater is doing this and making this possible and building the audience not only for this theater but for all theaters for the future and getting kids to understand live theater. There's
Right.
nothing like it.
It really isn't, and this is a great opportunity for the kids to come and enjoy it and learn about it and get interested in seeing more theater. It's
Great
really
idea.
a wonderful.
This would be a good opportunity for people to get more information about the schedule and anything else and get on the mailing list of the theater, to give the telephone number for the Westchester Broadway Theater.
Sure. All they do is call the theater. The number is 592-2222.
Such an easy number to remember.
It is,
Of course, it's
592-2222.
and of course in 914 area, of course.
Right, 914. And they can call there and they can get their tickets, reservations for the shows that are coming up to as well.
Yeah, all local people from as far away as Rockland County, where you come from.
Right, I actually come from Rockland County, yeah.
Local girl makes good.
Hey, I can't complain.
And you've traveled in so many different countries with shows, and here
But it's wonderful
you're
to
a
be home,
commuter.
and it's wonderful. I love it. I really love being in the area and having opportunity to work at such a phenomenal theater.
This is the first time you're here.
It is.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
great.
I'm not only lucky enough to work there, but to receive this role. So.
I hope you're as impressed as I am with the luxury boxes.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Where people can have a private room and then and their
View
own-
the show privately up there, and
then view the show. The curtains open up, and then I think that's so great. And I have to
wonderful.
admit that a few years ago I had a private party, and people have still not stopped talking about it. It's just such a great opportunity.
that's a wonderful thing. It's for parties of 6 or more, and it's wonderful. If you have a private party, someone's perhaps birthday or anniversary or whatnot, you just rent one of those rooms and have a private dinner for your party.
A special menu.
Right, with a special menu, your own bathroom, your own coat rack, everything's.
It's just
yeah,
great.
It's really nice, a nice evening.
Let's go back to our dear friend Fanny Bryce, an awkward little girl who knew that she was awkward, who knew that she was a comedian.
Right.
Well, she did at first think that she could do more than that, didn't she?
Nothing stopped her.
Nothing
stopped her. She didn't care that she was not going to be noticed as one of the beautiful Ziegfeld showgirls or whatnot, and she knew she had star quality. And
So why was Nick Ornstein attracted to her? He was a man who everybody knew. He was
Right.
a successful gambler.
Right. Well, I think part of the reason was because he was a girl who was different, and that's not something that you saw in at that time. Most of the girls were these beautiful, like I said, showgirls who, and he really, I think he became smitten with the fact that she was so different, and she was so determined, and nothing was going to stop her. That I think that's what attracted attention.
I do want to go back to an early part of the show. Let's talk about this scene that we now have. What is this?
This scene is when she first comes into an audition for Tom Keeney, who works at this theater when she's trying to be noticed. She runs into an audition, and the other girls are auditioning, and she messes up the whole audition, and she's trying to be, trying to get noticed, and this is right before she sings "I'm the Greatest Star," where she's trying to prove to Mr. Keeney that she is the greatest star, and that those showgirls mean nothing. I'm going to be a star, and this is why. And she just breaks out into song and explains that.
And Mrs. Whatever they're doing, she does the opposite.
Exactly, absolutely horrible audition. Doesn't know anything when it comes to dancing or whatnot. But
How about horrible auditions? Have you ever had one?
oh, sure, who hasn't? You have good days and bad days,
Is that a difficult process? I know even people who are working all the time say that they still have to go
sure.
through. I mean, unless you're a superstar, you go through the audition process
Sure.
all the time.
Well, you only get one shot, basically, when you enter that door for an audition for a show. You have maybe 30, 40 seconds to prove yourself. And if that doesn't go well, that was your shot.
Even
So-
if it goes well, the competition is so great, especially if it's an open
is.
equity call.
Oh,
That means that
hundreds and
everybody-
hundreds of people.
And they have to see everybody, don't
Yes.
they? And so in some way you give it your best shot, and
and hope that what you do stands out.
yeah. I've sat in some auditions.
have you?
I've sat and I've watched, and I say every one of these people who are displaying their talent. Everyone is brilliant,
Yeah.
and yet only a few
Yeah.
can be selected.
I know. Well, it obviously matters on what the show is and what type of person. You may have a wonderful voice, but you may not be physically what they're looking for, or whatnot. You never know. That's the thing. You may be talented, but just not right for the role.
Is it discouraging?
Well, I like to think of it as not discouraging. When I was younger, of course, you get a little more discouraged, but you get a little tougher as you get older and more professional. You just you can't second guess yourself.
And when you think about the outstanding baseball players, only get hits 1/3 of the time, and they're considered great.
Right, exactly. See,
and they get millions of dollars for doing that.
Right.
So you can't hit every time.
No.
What I learned a long time ago is that in order to understand success, you have to understand failure.
Right, exactly.
And failure is part of success.
It's very true.
And not to take it as something personal. It's just part of the game.
That's very true. In fact, when I was in 4th grade, I had my first audition for Annie. And I was very upset. I remember crying one night because I don't think I got a call back, let alone the job. And my parents told me that if this is what you want to do, you can be strong about it.
But then you come out on the stage now every night.
Yeah.
And you're the star, right?
Yeah.
And when the curtain calls, you're the star. It's a great feeling, isn't it?
It's a great feeling. It's wonderful. It really makes you think that all your hard work paid off and that these people really enjoyed your performance. And that's what's most important to me.
And they enjoyed the performance because you're so good at it.
Oh, thank you.
And it was just a delight having you here.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure talking to you after seeing you on the stage and do the show.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. I'm sure people will.
Great. Thanks
you. Thanks for coming.
No problem.
My guest today is Rachel Cohen, who is starring in Funny Girl at the Westchester Broadway Theater through September 26th. It's a terrific show. It's got great songs, and she's great in it. Go see it. Go enjoy it. I'm Norman Liss. The name of the program is The Way to Go. Until next week at this time, enjoy yourself.